Oh. Ah, much better. That was um, that was from Euphoria, and I cannot remember what it was called. It was one I hadn't tried before. It was really good. Well, I'm not getting any money from Euphoria, but you know. Anyway, Wilhelmberg here. Um, we kind of went haywire today because right now it's Easter Sunday 2020. America is under a lot of lockdown because of the coronavirus. Um, Politically, right now, Bernie Sanders just dropped out, and Joe Biden is now the presumptive Democratic candidate, and Donald Trump now is saying that he knew all along this was a really bad virus, and that's where we're at. If you're watching this in 2021, well, you know what happened next. Anyway, if you're watching this in 2020 and Easter, yeah, your guess is as good as mine at this point. But enough of that. We've had enough of hearing the coronavirus verse. I'm here on the floor because I felt like going through my records. And we got a box here. Uh, yeah, this is A through Brownsville Station. And meaning that it's just A and part of B because I couldn't fit all the Kate Bush singles in this box. I recently went to 7 boxes, I might add, of 45. These are these archive boxes to those who are uninitiated, blah, blah, blah. And the thing about these, come here. My dog looks depressed. You'll be fine. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this is everybody else seems to be doing something. It's a rainy Sunday afternoon and everyone's stuck in the house. One of those type of deals. But I attempted to go live, and for some glitch, I wasn't allowed to, and it said I couldn't go live on Facebook because of I had gone against the standards, and I can't go on until May 7th. And it's like I haven't done a live Facebook anything in a long time, and it still allows me to upload pictures. I uploaded a picture to one of my groups, the Underground Comics, etc. group that I moderate, and one to my regular Facebook page. And so I think it has to be a glitch because, like I said, there's nothing else up there. I haven't put up anything live. I've put links to YouTube, which is probably how you found this. All right. What can I say? I'm doing quite well. My leg is healing up nicely. I'm still losing weight. I'm walking with the dogs when I can. We're not doing that today. That's why we're doing this. And holding up quite well. So basically, people always ask me about what do I have, what 45s do I have, and few people have the patience to sit through this. These boxes, I might add, are supposed to hold 300 according to the ad. And, 300, yeah. 300 if it's like bare record, I guess, and they're just jammed in there to where you can't look at them. I have 96. I counted before I started this. I have 96 singles in here, and I admit there's a lot of packaging. I mean, I use these cardboard backings on like picture sleeves to keep the picture sleeve from being folded, which can devalue it. And I have poly sleeves because I don't trust, really rough old sleeves for uh, vinyl. And anyway, uh, here we go. The first 96 records alphabetically by band in my boxes. And I should add, there's no subgenre or anything. I think I have a subgenre of like Oklahoma records, and I think that's about it. Uh, anyway, and then, I keep things that if it's something so bad it's going to be nailed on the wall as a decoration. Of course, that's not in here, usually. Some are. Anyway, I also have been trying to get the correct paper sleeve where possible. When they pop up, they're great. This is the correct sleeve for this, I believe. This is ABBA, SOS, with Man in the Middle on the flip side. American single. I bought this when it was out. As Genesis Purge once said when asked why he collects ABBA, because it's good music. Look of Love, ABC, original. I bought this. This is the sleeve it came in. Trevor Horn production. Trevor Horn went on to do Frankie Goes to Hollywood, Art of Noise. He produced Yes before this, I believe. He was a member of Yes before this. And Seal. So, yeah. I always liked Trevor Horn. And, Trevor Horn's singles are great because the albums are usually product for the single they worked on. I'm sitting on the floor right here in the dog's path, so there'll be a few dogs coming through every now and then. Come on, Raph. Hey, let's see if we can get him up here and say hello. Come on, everyone wants to see you. This is the famous Rowdy. If you follow me at all, you've seen his picture on my Facebook page countless times, far more than mine. Right, ready? All right. Thank you. Now, let's see. We got a long ways to go. Okay, Hazel Adkins, one-man band. He did a recording, She Said, unexplainably out of control rockabilly music. He recorded it in his bedroom and mixed it with two open reel-to-reel tapes and microphones coming from a third tape recorder. This is a 1997 EP, Slow Hunch, on red vinyl. This is Norton, I'm sorry, almost said the wrong thing. The A-Bones label, Billy Miller and Mary Melina. Here's Hayes' House Party EP. Most famous for the Cramps covering She Said. Big Red Satellite. And yeah, I bought this when it came out. I'm not sure what year it is. I haven't looked it up, but I want to say like 86, somewhere in there. 87. The Karmazar, After the Fire. Original. Bought it when it came out. Falco's song that was redone. This one is a little collectible. It's G.G. Allen, Give Me Some Head with Dead or Alive. And I bought it from G.G. mail order. I think I saw his ad in either Maximum Rock and Roll or Trouser Press or something like that. And, oh, there it is. Ooh. Not really a good lighting person, but signed by G.G. Allen to me. Memorabilia. Strange memorabilia from a misspent youth. Let's see if screw around with your records for half an hour, Wilhelm. Alright, this one I think I got in the collection. This is the All Mouse Choir, Silent Night. I have kind of an obsession with novelty songs, and Disney label is cool. I grew up with these when I was born. I believe there was a collection of these of Disneyland records already in a library waiting for me when I came out of the womb. Here we go. This is Ted Nugent's first band, the Amboy Dukes, Journey to the Center of the Mind. on mainstream. This is a 1968 release, original pressing. And this is a, uh, 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 what is it? A promo, I guess. White label. Oh no, it's a misprint, that's it. I should have all this figured out. I should have figured this out before I come on, but isn't that part of the whole joy of it? So, yeah, Uncle Ted. Don't agree with the man's politics, but he could play guitar. Um, Joy, Apollo 100. This is my original single, but I found the label, or found the sleeve somewhere else. The Archies. Which one is this? Bang Bang Lang, or whatever it is. Yes, Lang, and Truck Driver. Not one of their bigger hits, with a calendar record. We got preserved in a nice sleeve on the other side. Another one with the sleeve, Sugar Sugar and Melody Hill. And here we go, Eric Records. I bought this in the 80s. This is one of the more interesting. They would do these A and B sides where they were different hits. You could buy two records for one, or if you're a shopkeeper, that means you don't have to have a record for each hit. You'd have two hits on one. You get the idea. And they came out really weird sometimes. This was the first time I got a copy of Jingle Jangle. I had it on LP, and I don't know where that went. But I bought this from Lee's Records out in West Tulsa in the 80s, which was this old rockabilly guy. Had a pompadour. I think it wasn't cool as shit to go there. And the flip side of the Archies Jingle Jangle is The Israelite by Desmond Decker. So that was the first time I really learned The Israelite, was by buying an Archies record, which I knew already had been reissued on like Stiff Records in England, or it came out or is reissued on Stiff Records. I'm not sure how it works. Speaking of which, I cut this out myself when I was like probably 8 or 9 years old. It's a paper record cut off the back of a cereal box of the Archies. And I haven't looked this one up to see what it is. There's something, if I can find it in here. There's a little imprint right there you probably can't see, but it's some pressure thing they do, and it tells you which one's which. Let's see. The Arrows blues theme from Wild Angels with a beat the hell Arrow sleeve. But do you have a Arrow sleeve? I mean, some of you do, I'm sure. Ralph Records, the Residence label, Art Bears, Rats and Monkeys, Cutler, Frith. I mean, yeah, pretty edgy avant-garde downtown. I don't know, kind of scratchy music that my generation is infamous for, bringing to light. Excuse me. Here at the Moment, Asia. I love this production of the single. I don't like anything else by Asia except the two hits, Here at the Moment and I forget which one's which. But they're both great productions, very pretentious. But this is Roger Dean art. This is the guy that did Yes, and just absolutely stunning. I have like 3 collections of his work in my library. Here we go. Pandora's Golden Heebie-Jeebies by The Association. This is the most psychedelic thing the Association ever did, who are most famous for Wendy and Cherish and all these kind of, stuff you'd hear at the Miss America pageant type songs. And this is them getting trippy. The Avant-Garde, Naturally Stoned. This is Chuck Woolery, game show host Chuck Woolery. They even did a reality show when they started the game show network, thinking Americans will watch anything. And Yeah, they used this as the theme song. Chuck Barris produced the TV show, and it was called Naturally Stoned. Very proud to have that in my collection, believe it or not. Uh, and, all right, now we're getting into some heavier stuff. Apple Records, Badfinger. This is Baby Blue and Flying. And I think this is one that's actually off print, or I think it's a little off center in the cutting or the printing. I think it's a little, but you know, it's there. This one's cut where you can't even read Apple something I, with Blind Owl on the back by Badfinger. Here's the you can see barely they cut into the label, and No Matter What was which was one of their bigger McCartney sounding hits, and Carry On Till Tomorrow, used in the film Magic Christian very effectively. Come and Get It, written by McCartney with Rock of Ages, which I don't know if that's in Magic Christian film. It's on Magic Christian Music, I believe. That's one I had. I have a copy now. This is one of the first records I bought on my own. Day After Day, Badfinger, Money on the Back, produced by Todd Rundgren, an extremely young Todd Rundgren. Day After Day, produced by George Harrison. And, yeah, that pretty much set a standard for what a good record was to me. Now, this is interesting. Some Brass by Desarian records. Here's Come to My House promo. Ross is most famous for the Chipmunks. And he also did records on his own under his own name. But then we also have the Chipmunks by Dave Seville and the Chipmunks song, the Christmas song, you know it. And that's under Dave Seville. Then we have Witch Doctor under Dave Seville, and all of these is him fucking around with his the speed of his voice. I'll try and get it in there. And Night Before Christmas, this is under the Chipmunks, with the Chipmunks on the label. I'm a Ross Bagdasarian fan. And Ragtime Cowboy Joe by Dave Seville and the Chipmunks, backed with Flipside. I take it Flipside is the flip side. And I'm not sure if this is coming out backward or not. I'm still not. I find this all disorienting. Oh, here we go. The Banana Splits. With the picture, with the sleeve, and I believe this one I had to rebuy. I lost my original of this, and the Bananas. Yeah, long before the Velvet Underground, or independent of the Velvet Underground. And around the same time as Apple Records, believe it or not. This is the companion. You had to send off to Kellogg's for these. And I got back like 3 records. I got like doubles of one. And then, you know, just in case of emergency, I've got backup copies. Their version of, you know, these records, you know, they're beat to hell, but this is where I got into psychedelic music. I kid you not. I'm not, you know, I'm not being ironic. Absolutely, you know, go back and watch the Banana Splits and watch them while you're high, and see if you don't think they're psychedelic. Got this in a collection recently. This is a promo copy of Manic Monday by the Bangles. I don't know if it's worth much, but if you want only one song by the Bangles, and I do, but don't know much about the others. Here's original stuff, Fish Head, on the Lumania Records. I ordered this before they were on Fridays, I think right after they were on Fridays, like the next day, because they played the video Fish Heads with Dr. Demento in it, and I had already seen the ad in Trouser Press, which I read religiously. So, yeah, I don't know if that's worth anything or not. Probably not. I mean, most of these things have kind of gone down in value as, you know, the original people that played with them died, and Now we're stuck with way more than there are people that know what they are. Here we go, Goldfinger, Shirley Bassey. I don't know if that's the right sleeve or not, but man, that's a cool sleeve. Bauhaus, Ziggy Stardust on one side and Third Uncle on the other. And by the way, if you're wondering how these are in here, so here's a good, so we've got a sleeve here that everything's housed in. Then you've got the picture sleeve, you know, itself, and that has, see if I can do this without screwing anything up. Yeah. That has acid-free cardboard on the inside of it, so that this is hard. This is hard to bend. You have to put a little effort into it. Meanwhile, the record is in a poly sleeve, so you know this is a smooth surface to keep the record from you know, having any more grind against it than necessary that you get from a paper sleeve. And yeah, I shouldn't have done that, but I haven't seen anyone in, you know, 24 hours practically. Well, all right, 12 hours, but let's see. Here we go. My friend Stinks, as a French professor I used to hang out with, like to tell me constantly, Le Sacré des Savages, I don't know, Riley Savage, Les Baxter, double 45s. 5 of these songs by Les Baxter were covered by Martin Denny on the Exotica album, so this is like the root of all Exotica. And he also worked with Ema Sumac, and you know, he did soundtrack for Roger Corman. He was kind of a house composer for AIP for a while. I love this record. I was like, I don't know, 14 when it came out, and yeah, Saturday Night, Bay City Rollers, original cover, original single pressing, whatever. Good Vibrations, Beach Boys. I'm not sure if this is the right sleeve or not, but this is somewhere around that period, I know, because when I was a child I had Yellow Submarine and Eleanor Rigby, and it came in this cover, bought in Oklahoma when Yellow Submarine was on the radio. And so, yeah. And here's what we've been looking for. Beatles, P.S. I Love You, Toily. Original pressing, 1964. In a heavy-duty sleeve. I Want to Hold Your Hand. I saw her standing there. Original pressing. Help, I'm Down. Original pressing. I think this is the correct sleeve. I'm not positive on that one. I'm not positive on any of these on sleeves. You Can't Do That. Can't Buy Me Love. Original pressing. And by original pressing, it's not necessarily, you know, a lot of these had like 4 or 5 different places churning them out in the first pressing, but they were from different factories, but they're all coming out at the same time because there was such a demand. I Feel Fine, She's a Woman, one of my favorite sounding records of all time, and excuse me for being an American. 8 Days a Week, with I Don't Want to Spoil the Party on the flip side. Oh, more dogs. Ticket to Ride, and Yes It Is. Once again, not sure if that's the right one or not. Ticket to Ride. Oh, wait. Yes It Is. Apple. Come here. Let's say hello to Sherman. Come here, Sherman. Oh. So this is Sherman. He's kind of the muscle. He's the guard dog. Rowdy's kind of the constant companion. Sherman's the one guarding the perimeter. Excellent animal. All right, Sherman. He's actually graduated obedience school, and he's the only one out of the group anyone fears. So anyway, so right. So like I said, Take the Ride, Capital, and Apple. Paperback writer. I should add, I'm not necessarily, I've never really set out to buy all the Beatles. It's just kind of, they keep coming in my possession, and I keep finding them really cheap. Something Come Together with a Beatles on Apple. Another Beatles on Apple, but this is Beat the Hell. This is Hey Jude, Revolution, and Who Cares, as I've written on the card, Warped, Unplayable. When I get a decent copy, that'll be a wall hanging. Hey, why is everyone so depressed when I'm doing one of these? It's really horrible. You need to show support. Come here. Say hello again. Here, against your will. I will force you to say hello to your public that adores you. You alright? You alright? Okay. Sorry. Let's pull a few more, because this video isn't long enough. Ah, I bought this myself. Alright, hang on, I'll move the box. Let It Be, with You Know My Name, Look Up the Number, which is, strangely getting way up there in my favorite Beatles. Hollywood Strings, arranged by Stu Phillips. Love Me Do with All My Lovin' on the flip side by the Hollywood Strings. Give Me the Night. I'm sure this is worth, I'm sure the packaging I put on it is worth more than the record itself, but I always liked that song. I bought it when it came out. This is sentimental value. This was my grandmother's Bo Weevil song, And Your Eyes, Brooke Benton. And it's just one of those singles of hers that survived, and I distinctly remember it from when I was like 5 years old. And here's Brooke Benton, something we all know, Rainy Night in Georgia. Then we have some records with, these are in here under Betty, because these all have Betty Page on the cover. We have the Blue Devils, Go Wild with Betty's Boys, EP. I bought all these off the web, and Betty Page is back. Gretchen Hoffner, and Gretchen also did a record about Judy Garland, and I forgot who else. And Tease Rama. What is this? Tease Rama, the 57 Incident. And it has a nice, I believe that's Temper Storm there with her. This is on Rockin' Rollin' Products. Well, there you go. Mark of excellence. And B-52's promo, Rock Lobster. B-52's promo, Summer of Love. And this is A and B, both stereo. I guess you burn one out, play the other one. Chuck Berry, Reelin' Rockin', Let's Boogie, Chess. I forget when this is, 70, something like that. 71. Big Bopper, Chantilly Lace. I don't know if that's the correct cover or not, but it's the one it has on it right now. Jim Dandy to the Rescue by Black Oak, Arkansas, with Red Hot Lovin' on the back, which is a hell of a song if I remember my dazed and confused youth. Somebody Stole My Gal by Mel Blanc, and I Love Me by Mel Blanc, with that weird triangle thing in the middle that stumps Americans. I don't know if we've figured out over here exactly what size hole we're going with. And I'm doing my best not to do a very obvious line. I could do right there. Here we go. Blondie, Ripper to Shreds, and Ex-Offender in a Japanese pressing, Toshiba. Oh, this is a nice one. This is mislabeled, so somebody marked out the name of the record, the wrong side, the label's on the wrong side. Someone marked them out and put the correct name and the timing of the record. So it's kind of like folk art. And here's a Blondie picture sleeve, tied as high. Oh, almost through here. Blood Rock, DOA, single edit. The LP version is over 7 minutes long or something like that. This one's like 3.5. A lot of the heaviness got cut out. Go Down Gamblin', Blood, Sweat, and Tears with Valentine's Day on the flip. Yeah, it's one of those records I just ended up with. I'm not sure where, how, or why. And it might be something my parents got in a stack when they were running around buying shit. So I just always liked that song, and I've always had that record. Blue Cheer, Summertime Blues, original pressing, 7-inch, styrene. Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper, correct sleeve, I know that. I bought this copy myself. Oh, here we go. Blue Swede, Hooked on a Feeling, Capitol and EMI, 2 different pressings. And believe me, this Capitol, which I believe was the original, feels a lot heavier than this, which I believe is a later pressing. I haven't actually looked them up, but one would tend to believe, just by design. Let's see. Blues Magoos. We Ain't Got Nothing Yet. One of those, the Nuggets collection. Something from the Nuggets collection. Bong Water. This is something that's rare, but I don't know if anyone gives a shit about it because I was really into them. Ann Magnuson, sorry, who later was in a show with Richard Lewis, I believe. And this is them doing a Rocky Erickson song on one side and a Porpoise song on the other. And that came out the same time Double Bummer, their classic album, came out. I don't have the record anymore, but I have my sleeve I bought in 1972 of Bowie, Space Oddity, Man Who Sold the World. Need to get a replacement record for that at some point. I've been looking. Sorrow, which is from Pinups with Amsterdam, both Bowie and Amsterdam was not released on an album. Bing Crosby, David Bowie, Little Drummer Boy, became a hit on MTV during the holidays one year. This is the single from that period. Fame with Ride on the Flip Side. I got that in the collection. Young Americans album. Crystal Japan, which is not on any album. I think it was actually a Pepsi commercial or something in Japan of Bowie. Japanese pressing. What is this? UK. David Bowie pre-release of Ashes to Ashes with the pop-out center intact. Cat People, Bowie, single version, not the same one used in the film. I'm not sure if it's the same one used in the soundtrack or not. I mean the soundtrack album, that is. Original, Queen and Bowie, Under Pressure, picture sleeve. Picture. This is a picture disc from a few years back, Record Store Day, and it features Bowie and Burroughs on the cover. It's from 1984 Diamond Dogs period. Diamond Dogs was not released in 1984. It was built around 1984. Bow Wow Wow, Work. Rather politically incorrect by today's standards, but yeah, Bow Wow Wow was the 16-year-old who kept posing nude on the covers of the albums. Malcolm McLaren product after the Sex Pistols. James Brown, Payback, parts 1 and 2. This is one of my first James Brown records I actually bought. Don't Be a Dropout, James Brown. Don't know if that's the right cover or not. Get Up, Feel Like a Sex Machine, 1 and 2. Cold Sweat, 1 and 2. Don't know if that's the right sleeve. This one is. Get Up Off of That Thing. And what's the flip side? Release the Pressure. Slaughter's Theme, another early James Brown I bought. With Sexy, Sexy, Sexy on the back. Let's see. We're just about done, finally. Thank God. This is There It Is, back with Past the Peas, Record Store Day from a few years back. I'm sure it's worthless at this point. Dance With Me, Peter Brown, disco hit back in my youth. With the correct TK sleeve, I believe. Brownsville Station, and yeah, this is the right sleeve, because there wasn't a big tree at this point. I believe this is what it came in. Brownsville Station, Barefootin' and Smoking in the Boys' Room. That's it. So that's box number 1. We'll see how many, we'll fly this up the flagpole and see who salutes it, see how many people give a crap before we get to box number 2, which is the Buckinghams through D. So, I'm Wilhelm Merg. Stay safe, wash up, you know the drill. Talk to you soon.